Is your Akita being really reactive towards other dogs? Are they barking, growling, snapping, lunging, and maybe even are they actually trying to attack other dogs? Well, don't worry, that is exactly what we're going to discuss in today's video. Welcome back to the Fenrir Akita Show. If you are new here, my name's Will, I'm a canine behaviourist and I'm the founder and CEO of FenrirCanineLeaders.com. This channel is dedicated to helping you learn everything you could ever want to know about the glorious Akita and then how to become a high-level canine leader that raises perfect Akita companions. So if you love Akitas, there's something for you on this channel. So start your journey by subscribing, turn on that little notification bell and you'll never miss a future Akita video. But let's dive into today's video. And today we're talking about an email that I just had this morning from somebody asking for my help for a behaviour consultation service for their Akita that has become extremely reactive towards other dogs. Every time it sees another dog, it's barking, growling, lunging, and although it's never attacked another dog, it's worried that if it ever got off its lead, it would go and do some serious damage. Now, this is a very common query that people come to me with. Many people are kind of at their last resort when they come to me with Akitas. They've got an Akita, they've tried to go to different trainers and they've not been able to help, and they're thinking, I'm gonna have to give this dog up to a shelter or maybe even have it put down if I can't do something. Now that's kind of my bread and butter, is helping people in those last resort situations with quite bespoke behavior modification programs. But if you're sat at home, there's going to be one of two situations you find yourself in. Maybe you're watching this video proactively and preemptively to ensure this doesn't happen to you, which if that's the case, fantastic, we're going to be able to help you in today's video. But maybe you've got an Akita that's displaying some of these behaviors and you're in a similar situation, and again, we're definitely going to be able to offer a solution for you. So when it comes to canine reactivity, when we have a big powerful breed like an Akita, the problem is that those behaviors that are overflowing often come across as very intimidating, which they are. They come across as very aggressive, which, although it's an aggressive type behavior, it isn't necessarily coming because that a dog is an aggressive dog or that dog is an overly dominant dog. The most common reason that these behaviors are displayed with breeds like Akitas is because it comes from a place of fear and anxiety. And that fear and anxiety stems from them having no clear, consistent leader in their life that they can look to for guidance and direction. So when the dog finds itself in a situation where there's another dog, we've got a breed like an Akita with a high prey drive that is a guarding breed that is known to be quite reactive. They think that I need to make a decision here. There's something going on. I have to make a decision. The adrenaline's up. They go into fight or flight response. And within a breed like Akita, you're most likely going to find yourself well and truly in the fight response. Then these behaviors start to display themselves, and if allowed to continue, will often result in violent type behaviors as well. So we have to deal with this in a twofold way. The first thing is we have to initially start at that root cause of the problem by restructuring that relationship with our dog. We need to get the dog to see to be able to see us as its clear, consistent leader and to understand that it must follow our guidance and direction. Now, okay, an Akita is a guard dog breed. If there's somebody on the property, we want them to be reactive. That's okay. I've got no issue with that. I encourage that myself from my dogs, but only when I know that if I ask the dog to stop, it will stop. Yep, no worries, boss. Just letting you know there was somebody there, rather than I need to keep going because I don't know what else to do and I can't listen to them and I shouldn't listen to them and it all spills out into these quite severe behaviors. So that's where I utilize my boot camp protocol with all of the clients I work with on any kind of reactivity, and pretty much every kind of behavior modification program I go through, we go through that boot camp protocol. If you want the online version of that, the link is down in the description box below. You can check that out. But that boot camp protocol is a 1-month protocol that implements a very regimented, routine, disciplined approach to that month with your dog, and it teaches you how to become a high-level canine leader, how we should interact with our dogs, how we should communicate with our dogs, and how to build that relationship with our dogs. If we can achieve that, excellent. That's the most important part of the equation with a reactive Akita, because now we're able to have the dog understand, yes, boss, what do I want? What do you want, boss? If we can get that relationship, we're 99% of the way there. Then we just need to deal with the management of the behavior. Now, with an Akita, we're never really going to be able to completely remove reactivity because of the type of breed it is. It is a reactive, guarding breed that is more prone to being independent than many other breeds, like, for example, a Labrador. If you wanted a dog that wasn't reactive or guarding, then maybe you should have looked at a Labrador and a Golden Retriever. You got an Akita for a reason. We don't want to remove that from them, nor probably could we. That reactivity is always going to be there, but we have to put an off switch attached to it. So that would then be the management program that we go with. Now, this case in particular was reactivity while we're out on a walk. So when we're going out on a walk, we always want to be teaching our dog to walk nicely to heel. That's a different video. If you haven't got that stage, then we need to address that as part of the boot camp protocol. There's sections for obedience, so I would recommend that you focus on heel during that process. So now we know the dog does understand how to walk nicely to heel. If it sees another dog and it's reactive towards them, we need to be able to say, yep, I understand. Thank you for letting me know. I'm in control. I will handle this. So we want to pop in a heel command or a shush command. So that can be in a positive manner. We pop that in as a command. Excellent, brilliant. Yep, I've seen it as well. Thank you for letting me know. We're moving forward. I am in control. Look up to me for guidance and direction because we're keeping moving. Then, if that behavior doesn't stop, we then need to implement a correct, redirect and reinforce process. So if the behavior doesn't stop, we need to be able to add in a correction. With a large, powerful breed like an Akita, I would utilize a Hermspringer prong collar alongside a verbal correction. So if the behavior doesn't stop, they get a quick pop on the collar with a what we're trying to do is snap them out of the behavior. We're not getting into a tug of war game. We're not choking them out. It's a simple pop, a quick pop, just to snap them out of it. Yeah, oh, sorry, boss. Yeah, what was it again? Then we redirect them back to heel. And then when they're back in that heel position, we can then praise and reinforce it. So we correct, we redirect, and then we reinforce. And what you'll find is that as we do that as a consistent approach, we can slowly phase out the physical correction and left with only the verbal correction. We can give them the, first of all, ask them to walk to heel. Cool, you've done that. Awesome. Then we don't need to correct or redirect because we're already there. We can live in positive only world. Amazing. Then that bad behavior starts to slip in. If it starts to come in because there's something that's catching the dog's attention, triggering that reactivity, we then need to be able to come in with the verbal and that should be enough with a consistent approach because they should be able to link the physical correction with the verbal. It should be one in the same over time, which should be enough to get them to go, oh, yeah, sorry, what was it, boss? Heel, we redirect them. So we correct, redirect, and then we reinforce when they're back in that land. And then we can get ourselves back into the positive only world. Now, if you get to a point where you try the verbal correction and they ignore it, then we go back to the physical and the verbal and we keep working there until, again, we can test slowly removing the physical correction. Now, a lot of people don't like to utilize physical corrections. When it comes to training, I like a positive only approach. It's the approach I like to live with. When we talk about behavior modification and rehabilitation in a situation like this, where this dog could kill another dog more than happily, it could hurt somebody else. And if we don't address this problem now, this dog is going to end up in a shelter and be put down. If you give it up to a shelter, they're going to temperament select test it. They're going to see it's reactive to other dogs. They're going to consider it dangerous and it's going to get euthanized. That dog is on death row at this point. So coming from a place of love, coming from a case of wanting to save this dog's life and to be able to have a happy, healthy life without any anxiety and fear, where it trusts us, we need to utilize some of these tools from a place of love to be able to have a happy, healthy dog. That's where we utilize them. All tools can be misused, but if you utilize it in a fair, well-timed situation and in a well-timed part of a fair, consistent modification program where we're only correcting when we need to, we then redirect to the behavior we want to see, and then we instantly then flip back over to the other spectrum of praise and reinforcement. And over time, the negative behavior will start to come down and that positive behavior will start to come up. And as that happens, we correct less and we praise more. We correct less, we praise more. And over time, once we have gone through that modification education program, then we can go back to living in purely positive only. So don't let people say that these processes don't work. They do work. I utilize them every day to save dogs' lives, and you can do the same with your Akita. Just do it in a place of love. And if you're concerned about doing that yourself, maybe you've never utilized a tool like that before, then I highly recommend you going and finding a local behaviourist in person that can help you guide through that process and can help show you how to do it fairly, show you how to implement it properly. And again, you will get to a point where you'll have a happy, healthy, content Akita that is the dream companion that you've always wanted. Now, if you've got any other questions whatsoever, feel free to put them down in the comment section below. We've got 2 Akita dedicated videos coming to this channel every single week. So if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, and I can't wait to speak to you again on the next episode of the Fenrir Akita Show.